Hello and welcome back to
the Zak
and Buzz
Review. If you see something, say something. If that groomer is coming for you. If you see something, say something. When your teacher tries to indoctrinate you.
Wow, okay. I was not expecting that.
Puppets! I actually thought...
From this.
From the little logo,
yeah.
I thought it was going to be the guy who imagines puppets was going to be involved.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, but it turned out it was a puppet show all about trying to see if you can find anybody that's trying to sort of take down the USA. You know, anybody who's being negative towards being a patriot.
Yeah, you know? I know.
Funny thing is, and you know, I don't want to be controversial, but I kind of have this thing with I know that the boys pokes fun really well at everybody.
Yeah.
But I find that there's some sort of underflow,
okay,
of things that you kind of can't help sympathising with, because I do feel that in modern society, in the first world especially, that we have some extreme groups that do exactly what is being pointed at, you know.
Wow.
That try to undermine and destabilise things. So you kind of sympathise in a way. But it does come over. I mean, obviously, in the boys, it's coming over very right wing kind of extremist. But there are these people.
But it's all under the guise of humour. It is so outrageous.
But that's what I mean. It's poking.
It's so funny.
It's slapping you in the face with the reality of actually what the world we live in.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how it manages to do that.
Not get slapped
and
down.
And it knocks it on the head every week.
Yeah, because, I mean, even Hot D, House of the Dragon, has had people complaining about when they beheaded that child and stuff as being, oh, this is terrible.
Bit
risque, but the boys
has
like, so much risque.
So much more.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, last episode we had the blooming tech night.
Bring out the gimp.
Yep.
Sex dungeon.
Sex dungeon. You want to come to my bat cave? Actually, it's not a bat cave.
To be honest, with this episode, I really didn't expect them to surpass that.
Yeah.
And they didn't really.
They didn't, but they kept the same level. So let's talk about the episode, okay? So we had the puppets and Homelander and...
It was kind of sprinkled throughout the episode, wasn't it?
It's kind of... who's the... brain lady.
Sister Sage.
Sister Stage is kind of pushing everything, but she gets heave-oh'd by the end of the episode.
She gets hoisted, like, mid-episode or whatever in this.
What? Oh, boy.
You know...
And then she's just like, well, if that's the way you're going to do it, good luck without me, because there's always going to be one person you're never going to beat.
Exactly. And
Judge Dredd. No.
Left it in the balance with Homelander saying go,
and with that I didn't really expect to see her again.
No, well, that's it. Homelander said go home now, or you'll be going home in a bucket, you know, because let's face it, first thing we see pretty much is that Webweaver getting ripped in half.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to go home in a bucket.
No, because that was the thing. That
was
the reason why it was who was the leak. And she was basically, she knew it was A-Train.
All along. And she did say that to them at that point is A-Train.
Yeah, but she withheld that from them.
She'd been feeding A-Train with the information she wanted him to leak. You know?
It was all part of the plan.
But Homelander's kind of...
Because she's always so many steps ahead, nobody's caught up to her yet. Because she's the cleverest person on the planet.
But then I can see why Homelander gets peed off, because he feels like he's being left out.
Or undermined.
A bit like, actually, I mentioned Hot D, but didn't you have the King felt he's being left out?
Which King? You mean...
Aegon.
Oh, Aegon, yes.
He's being left out and making the decisions, and so he ends up going and making a big cock-up, and it's kind of the same...
Correlating.
Same sort of storyline.
How peculiar, yeah.
But anyway, so... Webweaver, what a scene where he keeps...
Oh, sorry, I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous.
I mean, would you call that web ejecting?
I don't want to say anything like that.
Web farting? I don't know, he kept just splurging his web everywhere.
Web hole.
It was awful. And then
because he essentially admits that he's been giving people these information from the Tech Night episode,
Yeah.
but that's all kind of lost in translation, and he gets ripped in half because he's so
pathetic.
But
again, I just think the prosthetics department come out on top because I mean that's a physical effect, wasn't it? I don't think there was any digital effect in that.
Well, I think there was. There's got to be.
You reckon there was?
A mix. I reckon a mix.
Mix of two. So like having it pulling the body apart and then adding the detail. Okay, so. But it looked really good.
Yeah, and that's the best way that like effects can be done is the mix of the new and the old, physical and CG.
I think if you mix the physical with the CG, yes, or the physical stands alone, but just CG never looks right.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, so it was kind of rolling the story along and lots of twists and turns. Of course, we end up with Frenchie and
Kimiko.
Yeah, they're still sort of kind of edgy, where that's going to go.
Yeah, well, they have to bring him back, don't they?
But Frenchie is brought back in order to try and make
get the virus out of the sheep. Or is it the leg now? It might have been the leg now, anyway.
And of course, they suddenly discover there's a shapeshifter involved.
Well, we didn't. Well, they go after a shapeshifter, and it turns out they discover the shapeshifter pretending to be a hostage or something.
In a wardrobe.
And then we find out how they shapeshift by tearing off skin. It's all very gross.
Yeah, it was quite gross and very well done.
Yeah. And then you got the massive thing at the end where it's like,
she's a chameleon.
Oh dear, Starlight has been kidnapped.
Starlight is woken up in some kind of warehouse, chained to the floor, and we suddenly realise that the Starlight that we've been watching all the way through the episode, pretty much to the restaurant scene, the bar scene.
Yeah, from that point.
And then you get a flashback of how they got a skin sample and...
they do the...
and then basically chloroformed her.
Yeah.
And so Huey has been sleeping with the shapeshifter. And the shapeshifter has been nicking all the computer stuff and everything.
Yeah. Wiped the hard drives. Oh.
Yeah, it's getting good. Yeah, I mean, wow.
And of course,
where that's going to go, we're not going to know until we see the next episode.
A-Train is gone.
A-Train?
He tries to leave with Ashley, but
Ashley
stays, and A-Train just bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, we are literally so on tenterhooks for the final episode now. I mean, so much has happened in this one. But the lad, what's his name again? The boy.
Oh.
Ryan, no!
Brian, that's it. Ryan, I'm going to... Come on, Ryan, you got to come with me. Ryan.
Ryan.
I try not to say any
Keeps
F or C words.
Yeah, but he's got this thing with his tumour in his head.
Oh, well, of course, that was the thing. The episode before, it was having him, Butcher, hitting the deck.
Yeah.
And so in this episode, he's basically been on death's door, isn't he?
Essentially,
in a hospital. So, where's it going to go?
You say that in this one we had the wasn't it the Deep and Noir? They came into the boys' place.
They came for the
punch up.
They fly now.
Why'd you? That's interesting because
we're doing this a bit out of order because it's been a while since we actually watched the episode.
Yeah,
and obviously Noir has obviously been replaced and he can fly and talk now.
You can fly. I loved it because that was great. Trying to get the minigun out of the case and everything. And of course Starlight was obviously still Starlight at that point, having a punch up with them.
Yeah.
And then
obviously A-Train comes in and saves them. He's been made. That's why he leaves.
And then you have that scene with the Deep and the Noir where it's like bro. Because all bruised and everything. Bro. And then turns out that Noir's been sleeping with
Sage as
well. It's like, bro.
You had to lobotomize there as well? No. What?
What? Bro.
That was quite funny.
I always feel sorry for the Deep.
Deep.
Do you?
Well, it's because as the actor, he has to go through so much. His character, and he always ends up like being made the idiot.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't. Isn't this the one where he kills the octopus as well?
Well, you have that scene where he breaks the
glass,
the tank, the aquarium, if you want to call it, and slams the door and everything. And so it's like, it's a very messy episode, but with a cliffhanger at the end. So this leaves us with, I mean, overall, it was a good episode.
Yeah, it was.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
You give it an 8. I think I gave the last one 8.5 because of the craziness. I think
this will come down a bit.
I think
but it's
8.
still keeping the rhythm.
Good. Yeah, it's still keeping the
so,
rhythm. I'm excited for the next one.
Yes, this is the thing. We are now on the cusp of the climax.
Yes, the finale.
The finale episode. With one season to go after this, if I'm true.
Unless they do any more spin-offs.
But that's it. Remember, we've still got the school kids from the university.
Yep.
We have not really seen them yet.
No, not much.
So there we go. It's all on tender hooks for the final episode.
Yep.
What's going to happen?
I don't know.
Are we going to have a major showdown? You know. So anyway, just remember. If you see something, say something. When that groomer comes for you,
what he said.
See something, say something. When your teacher tries to indoctrinate you.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see.
See you in the next one.